how to start a hard money lending business. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pennington. On this channel, we talk about starting and scaling investment funds. And today specifically, we're gonna talk about hard money lending. Some of you may or may not know this, but my dad is the co-founder of a $10 family of real estate funds. He's done incredible things, but yet has never given me a dollar, any investments, any of my funds, deals, projects, anything. And I pitch him all the time. Hopefully he sees this video and he'll invest in some of my stuff. But some of you may not know, he actually originally started doing hard money loans, and they had about $70 million they were rolling into hard money loans at any given time. Additionally, my brother is a securities attorney and just recently started a hard money lending fund. So with all that being said, I have a pretty decent group of mentors to ask about hard money loans. So in today's episode, we're gonna talk about what hard money loans are, how to get started, how to build a fund around it, how you could potentially scale a hard money lending business. So first off, what is private money lending or hard money loans? The name hard money, it sounds kind of mean, usually because interest rates are a little bit high. Private money sounds a little bit better. But a great example is this. Someone is trying to flip a house and the house costs $400,000. They need at least 20% down to go and flip the house. Additionally, they're gonna wanna do about 50 grand in renovations and upgrades and all that kind of stuff. However, they only have 30K available to put into the deal. So where do they go? They move to private money lenders. Can other people help me fund this project? So private money will step in for the $80,000 down payment. They'll take 30 from the buyer, add 50 of the private money, and then additionally give a line of credit of $50,000 for renovations and repairs. And the private money will be in a second position behind the bank capital. To simplify things, the private money gave a $100,000 loan, 50 grand went to the down payment here, another 50 grand went to repairs on the house, and they are in a second position only behind the bank. And again, if this person defaults, they lose their 30 grand. So they'll give a loan of $100,000. They might charge, let's call it 2 points up front, so $2,000 up front. And points is just a fancy way of saying percentage point on the deal. It's not an annualized interest. If somebody takes 2 points of the deal, they literally just take 2% of the deal up front or at the end. And then a lot of hard money lenders, let's just call it a 10% interest rate. And let's say the plan to pay this back is a 6-month time period. So all in all, the hard money lender would make $7,000 if they pay back in a 6-month time period. So the house flipper turns around in 6 months, they sell the house for $650,000. The bank gets paid back their $320,000, give or take a few thousand on closing costs. The hard money lender takes their $107,000, and the house flipper takes home a whopping $223,000 minus their initial $30,000 investment. Now, obviously what I played out was a pretty sweetheart scenario. A lot of times hard money lenders are gonna charge a lot more than that. Bank costs might be more, and there might be a few more problems on the property than $50,000. However, that's a win-win deal for all parties involved. So again, that's why I hate the term hard money. This is soft money. This is easy money. This is making money. And yes, people in the comments below are gonna say hard money lenders charge different rates to that, but I mean, 7% in 6 months, that's 14% a year that hard money lender is making. That's not a bad return on capital that you're really not doing much on. Now, let's go a little bit deeper and walk through the mechanics, the do's and don'ts of hard money lending, some things to look out for, and how you could potentially use a fund to finance the hard money loans. Now, real estate is a very obvious play on this. I see a lot of real estate hard money lenders. However, you can also lend on private businesses, on projects, on trips to the moon. I literally just got pitched a hard money deal on a trip that they were gonna buy a spot on Jeff Bezos' rocket and go to the moon. It was incredible. But the number one thing you wanna look for in all these deals is collateral. If the person decides to run off with your money, which does happen in the private money space, is the collateral good enough for you to recoup your investment? So we're gonna use another example here. Let's say this house is $100,000. We're not gonna use a bank in this example. It's just, they're gonna finance it just through you, the hard money lender. Now, recently, because money supply is very rich, I've had a few people pitch me, Bridger, can you finance 100% of the project? So Bridger, can you finance me $100,000 for me to go buy this house? And they'll always say the ARV, the after remodel value, we're projecting we can sell this thing for huge numbers. We're gonna sell this thing for $250. That's what it's really worth. So look at your collateral on this. And I go, I don't love it. I mean, if you can buy it for $100,000, and yes, I'll take first position. So now essentially I'm buying a house for $100,000. What if the market drops 10% or 15% and you get scared and you bug out? Well, now this house is only really worth $85,000. I've lost 15%. and I'm not a house flipper. I don't know what to do with this property. And they'll come back and say, no, the ARV, it's going to be perfect. And I always come back and I like to say, I like to see some skin in the game. Now, some lenders might do this, especially if you have a track record. They'll lend 100% of the value, and sometimes they'll even lend on top for the rehab costs. However, this is a similar thing we saw in 2007, 2008, where they were doing over 100% loans on the actual collateral. That's why I get a little weary doing a deal like this. What I like to see happen, instead of me financing the whole 100%, I want to finance $70,000. And I want my borrower to come up with the other $30,000. I want them to have skin in the game, because it's unlikely the real estate market's gonna fall 30%. And even if it does fall 30% and I have to foreclose, I'm still breaking even. I am only into this deal $70,000, yet I have a first position on the house. So if things go south, I'm the first person paid back. Is that making sense? You guys following along so far? So rule number one is I love for them to have skin in the game on the property to make sure they won't run away and fly for the Bahamas and forget about our investment deal. Now, additionally, when setting up this deal, you want to make sure the asset is actually real and that you can put a true lien on the property. And lien is just a fancy term for meaning that you own the property if the person doesn't pay back their debts to you. Actually, one example, one of my mentors did a private money loan to a guy. He needed, let's call it $2.5 million for a business venture, not even related to the property, but he said, I have collateral of $4 million of real estate. You guys can put a first position on it, lien, whatever you'd like to do. If I don't pay you back the $2.5 million, you guys can just take the $4 million property. And I said, okay, that sounds like a good deal. They made sure the title was in place, all this kind of stuff. However, they were a little bit lazy on checking the actual properties. And what happened was the guy took the 2.5 million, he ran off, fled the country. And so they said, okay, well, let's go take the property. They went to acquire the property, and turns out the property was not worth $4 million. He had lied on the property lines and where the property was at. And it turned out the property valuation was only like $800,000. Because they didn't do a full appraisal, they lost almost $2 million on that deal. So again, it's important to have a proper lien, have a good title company, and good appraisals on property that you're putting these liens on. Because the game we're in, hard money, private money lending, everybody has their hand open and all the scammers come and find the hard money lenders and try to take and scam people out of money. Now, when setting up these hard money deals, you can do a number of things. You can do points, you can do interest, you can do balloon payments, you can do monthly payments. Really, you get to set the terms. If you want payments every month, great, let's make payments every month. If you want payments all at the end on 6 months and one day all payments are due, you can make that happen as well. You get to decide the payment terms because guess what? You're the guy with the money. Now, on to our final point, how to actually put this together. If you're not a wealthy individual and you still want to do these hard money loans, which actually are very profitable, you can set up a fund. You'll set up a general partner, limited partnership structure. And actually on our channel, we have dozens of videos that walk through how to do this, but you'll raise capital from private investors or limited partners. That money flows into a fund. You can raise, let's call it $15 million. And then you, as the general partner, have 100% discretion on how those accounts are used. So you can then go decide on the hard money loans you want to do. Now, after the loan completes, you'll have to split those returns with investors, but you get to keep a big chunk of the change. And that's why fund managers are some of the wealthiest people on the planet. And speaking of wealth, if you guys want to click that subscribe and like button below, if you like this video, that would be much appreciated. Like I mentioned in the beginning, my mentor had a $70 million fund they were doing loans out of, and they were making a lot of money as the general partner or fund managers doing this. And these guys are not Ivy League crazy grads. They are regular people like me and you that are going out and doing these types of things. Again, we have videos on our channel all about starting a fund, scaling it, raising capital, putting it together, waterfall structures, all this kind of stuff. If you're interested in starting and getting into a fund, go check out our channel. We have dozens of videos on this topic. Thank you guys so much. I'm Bridger Pennington. If you like this video, again, like and subscribe and check out our channel for more content on funds. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.